Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and I wasn't going to make a video today because Guardians Rising is coming out. I don't really want to do any new decks until Guardians Rising comes out, because there's really no point, because the meta's going to change when the new set comes out. I have one more deck video probably coming out Wednesday or Thursday, which will probably be better with Guardians Rising, so keep an eye out for that. But anyways guys, we're going to go a recap of the best decks from... well, not the best decks, the top 8. I don't know what I'm saying when I'm recording the best deck standard format. No, we're going to be looking at the Latin American TCG decks from the seniors, juniors, and thing. It's basically a recap. I did this with Salt Lake and Oceania. So yeah, let's hop right into it and look at them. I have not looked at them yet. All I know is that DecidueyePlume won in the Master Division, because of course it did. So this is a DecidueyePlume deck that uses Jolteon and Regice. It's something that I've seen pop up recently. Same with the Mega variant. I've seen the Mega variant get some talk right now. But it looks like the Jolteon and Regice variant seems to be the best right now. Regice can be great against Volcanion and also just locking EX decks, and Jolteon is also really good at locking those decks too. I would make a video on this, but again, you know, Guardians Rising coming out, we'll see, maybe. I like DecidueyePlume. It's a really fun deck to play, even though it gets people who can see. That's probably why it's so fun. By the way, look at this rally. You can clearly tell this thing was photoshopped, and they literally just used a white stroke on it. Like, it's so obvious. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, pretty standard deck. 4 DCE, 4 Rainbow, 2 Revitalizers, all your standard stuff. The Jolteon and Regice is very interesting. It looks like he doesn't play Espeon, but we do see a Lugia in the deck, which is kind of interesting. So now we can go down to what the second place one is. Another DecidueyePlume deck. Yeah, see, this is the Mega one that I was talking about. So yeah, it looks like it is a Mega variant that has 2 Lugias in it. So you got 3 Grass, 4 DCEs, you know, your 4/4 Decidueyes, your 2/2 Plumes, and yeah, 2 Lugias. So you went with Lugia over like Meowth or Tauros. And this has the 1/1 Mega. I told you about the Mega variant and how it's popular. So, yeah, it looks like the Mega variant here got second place. Unfortunately, kind of lost over the first place one. I'd assume Jolteon hitting Lugia and Mega for weakness kind of hurt him a little bit, I guess. That's probably my idea as to why the deck didn't win. But yeah, it's a pretty good deck. I do like the Mega tech. I think that's a really good tech idea. It's a really cool card to see. Mega is a really nice card, and I think Guardians Rising could help it a little bit with some certain cards. I might cover that in the future. So many Guardians Rising decks. Anyways, moving on to third, we got a Mega Ray deck. So this one is just a standard Mega Ray deck with, looks like no Volcanions or anything. It's literally just 3 Hoopas, 4 Shamans, 1 Dragonite, 1 Oranguru, a 3/3, sorry, not 4/3, 3/3. And you got 4 Fire. Obviously, there's no other energy. I mean, you could have ran Psychic, though, for Hoopa. It's kind of interesting. 4 DCEs, and all your standard stuff you see in most Mega Ray decks. Not really that stands out here. I guess the puzzles stand out. So that's probably why he doesn't play like the Manaphy and like the Volcanion and stuff like that. Even the Giratina. It's because he has the Puzzle of Times in the deck. So that's probably why that's in there. So that's a pretty good one. He even has Skyla in here. Skyla can be good for puzzle, I guess. So it's a pretty good deck. Took third place. And another DecidueyePlume deck, which is starting to make a comeback. I remember DecidueyePlume was like only like 2 or 3 in each top thing, but now it seems like it's the majority of it. This is just a straightforward DecidueyePlume. Beedrill, Tauros, Lugia. Yeah, it's a standard DecidueyePlume deck, nothing new. That's probably why I took fourth, because it doesn't have the text like Mega and Jolteon or Regice. So, you know, the standard version, everyone already expects that. They know how to play against and beat it. You got your Turbo Darkrai deck. Nothing new here. 2 Baby Velthals, 4 Darkrai's, 2 Shaman, 1 Hoopa. Everything looks the same for the items. 3 XP share, 3 belts, 3 mail, 2 ropes, 1 floatstone, 2 labs, which is obviously great against Volcanion. Even a parallel can be great against Volcanion. So pretty standard Turbo Darkrai list. So we got Volcanion. It looks like 2 made it into the top 8. None won, unfortunately. But obviously with the Regice Jolteon variant, that's kind of better than the normal ones. They can beat out Volcanion. So another simple one, you got Salamence in here for the tech attacker. Probably good in the mirror match, definitely, and like other Hoopa decks like Turbo Darkrai. Yeah, pretty standard deck. Nothing really new going on in the supporters and whatnot. Another DecidueyePlume. Is it going to be the new one? Nope, it is just a standard DecidueyePlume with 2 Lugias and 1 Beedrill, 4 DCEs, 4 Grass. And yeah, just it doesn't have the Regice. That's probably why it took 7th place, because, you know, again, with the Regice and Jolteon Texels kind of help you in certain matchups. This was just a straightforward deck. I'm not saying it's a bad list, obviously got 7th place, but you can kind of see how it didn't make the top. It's because it didn't have every tech. This Volcanion list does not have Salamence EX from the looks of it. You got your full Volcanions, 3 babies, 2 fires, All your standard items. One hammer is interesting. I mean, I don't know if that's really that good in like a mirror match against the DecidueyePlume, but the hammer is good against those special energy themed deck. That's a pretty good tech idea. One parallel, which is kind of interesting, considering either way you put parallel, kind of hurts you. If you have to lose Volcanion or if you have to make you do less damage, but still not a bad tech. Good deck. Now we go to the seniors. Seniors and juniors tend to be the decks that you see more like different decks, like more variety is what I'm trying to say is in the seniors and in the juniors division. So we'll check this out. So the first win that we got here is not Baby Veltal, Yveltal Garbodor with Baby Yveltal. But this one's got a little bit more attackers in it. It's got Tauros, it's got Wobbuffet, it's got Mewtwo. Obviously, you don't attack with Wobbuffet, but it's still in the deck because, you know, good against DecidueyePlume. So this, yeah, is a pretty good deck. 7 Dark, 4 DCEs, you got your Baby Mewtwo, 2 Yveltal EX, 2 Baby Yveltal. It's kind of like a teched out version of Yveltal, is I guess what you could call it. That's pretty good. I like Yveltal EX. I like it. I personally would rather play Yveltal over Darkrai if I were to like play a dark deck, if I would take one to a tournament. But yeah, looks like just like a teched out version of Yveltal Garbodor. Just got some other like interest attackers like Tauros and Mewtwo. And pretty standard items in the deck. Even got the Ninja Boy. What's the second place deck? Looks like a few decks actually made it here. DecidueyePlume, one Toro, yeah, okay, this one plays Espeon. So it's not like the Evolutions one with like Jolteon and Espeon. It literally just has the Espeon, but it's one with Tauros and Lugia in it. Yeah, nothing really interesting that stands out other than the Espeon, of course. Espeon's a really good tech in these DecidueyePlume decks in the mirror match because you get any damage on one Decidueye, Espeon knocks it out. Looks like a Zoroark deck made it, and a Xerneas Break deck. That's interesting. And before it was modeled off my deck, Kappa. We got the Mega Mewtwo deck here. Mega Mewtwo I know has been played with Espeon and Wobbuffet right now. And it looks like this one is just like another one of those Mewtwo Wobbuffet decks. Doesn't have Espeon in it, but I mean Mewtwo kind of carries itself with like Shrine of Memories and stuff like that. It's like Infinity doing a ton of damage. I mean, I really like Mewtwo YLY. I think it's a really powerful deck. Even with the popularity of Espeon and stuff like that, it's still a pretty good deck. It's a pretty nice deck. All the items seem simple. 4 Spirit Links is amazing because you want to be able to get that turn 2 Mewtwo. We go to the Volcanion list. This one, kind of the same thing as before, just Salamence as a tech, every item. Just seems to be the same, one bell. Yeah, nothing really new in there. A Rainbow Road deck. This is interesting. And it looks like it is the EX version with a Wobbuffet in it. I know Rainbow Road is really good with like the EXs. I know it's being more of an EX themed deck more than it is like the Galvantula Bisharp version. I like that version too because you're using non-EX attackers. Since you kind of use this deck, you're just putting different Pokemon on your bench that can easily be one-shot, but if you don't knock out the Xerneas, I guess you kind of get punished for it, so I guess there's a workaround to that. So yeah, pretty cool Rainbow Road deck. Got Flygon in there, you got Dragonite, obviously gets your Pokemon Jolteon in here. Obviously this dude, oh no, he does play one Lightning. I was like, obviously this dude doesn't play any other energy than Fairy, but no, it looks like he does play one Lightning for that Jolteon, which is pretty cool to see in a Rainbow Road deck. So that's a really cool Rainbow Road deck. A Zoroark Yveltal deck. This is cool. Does he play a Pokepuff? I was working on doing... I'm not going to do this anymore, but I originally had a Quad Zoroark video going up. I was making a deck on that. I was working on the video. I'm just scrapping it. I don't really think I want to do it anymore. I don't think the deck's bad or anything. It's just like, you know, Guardians Rising. 4 Zora, 4 Zoroark, 2 Yveltal, 2... Yeah, it's pretty cool. Zoroark is a really underrated card right now, I think. I know it's good with, like, Vespiquen, which is what it mainly is played with, but I think Zoroark is still a really powerful card, because decks still use Skyfield, and also, you know, with the popularity of Mega Ray and Volcanion that use Skyfield most of the time, you kind of have the advantage there. Plus it's a non-EX attacker with a really good ability against something like Espeon or something, so that's a pretty cool deck. I'm glad a Zoroark Yveltal deck, and I'm glad it wasn't just like Yveltal Garbodor. A Turbo Darkrai deck, yeah, it's your standard one. He's got 3 Veltals instead of usually 2, which is interesting. Everything else seems the same. 3 Screen Shares, 2 Belts, 2 Floats, 2 Ropes, 4 Max Elixir, 1 Hex Maniac, yeah, pretty standard things. We got a Xerneas Break deck, and it okay, so it's gonna be Xerneas Dragon. It's not like Xerneas Snorlax like the video I made last week. So this is just Xerneas with dragons in it, Salamence, Giratina. 2 Salamence over the 2 Giratina, which is interesting. I know Salamence is still a very powerful card against Volcanion. I mean, if you think about it, Salamence is just really good against this deck, because 2 Yveltals counts as 2 EXs and like a Shaman. And then I know it's really good against this deck because it uses Hoopa and Mewtwo. It's great against Volcanion. It's great against Turbo Darkrai. It's just great against those decks that rely on EXs. I took 10th place, which kind of sucks. I mean, he's probably maybe expecting Dark types to be very popular. From the looks of it, he was expecting the Dark meta to be popular, but it looks like he actually lost to a Dark deck. kind of sad he lost to a Turbo Darkrai. You'd think that matchup's good because you have the Resistance and the Salamence. But, you know, going to the Juniors division. Will we see any new decks in Juniors like in Seniors? So I like the Seniors and Juniors division because you just see more unique decks in there other than your standard Volcanion, DecidueyePlume, Turbo Darkrai, with a sprinkle of maybe Yveltal and maybe a sprinkle of like Darkrai Dragon. So here we go, the Juniors division. Is it going to have anything? Maybe Line Croc ended up winning again, like in the last video we did. So it looks like Mega Mewtwo won, and this one is just 4-4 Mewtwo's without any Garbodors, but he does have one Wobbuffet in the deck. You got one Hoopa, two Shays. Everything else kind of seems the same. 2 Memories, 2 Parallels, 4 Mega Turbos, 4 Spirit Links, 7 Psychic, 4 DCs, and this one won. So what did it beat out? Okay, so nothing new, nothing really that new. Everything's kind of same. I mean, you had the Mega Gardevoir, which didn't make it in the top 8 or Seniors or Masters. Interesting. Yeah, this Volcanion deck, the only thing it really added was an Oranguru. It still has the Salamence in there. It's got the Oranguru. That's one of those matchups that I think isn't terrible. Considering this guy didn't have any, considering Kea here didn't have any Garbodor in the list, I'm kind of surprised that the Volcanion deck lost. I would assume that wouldn't be a bad matchup. I mean, it depends if you can't pull enough steam ups to one-shot the Mewtwo Y, I guess, before you get damage changed. Yeah, everything seems the same in here. It's 2 Skyfield. Interesting. Got DecidueyePlume, and okay, this one has the Jolteon in it. It doesn't have the Regice and the Jolteon, but it has the Jolteon. You got Beedrill. Beedrill looks really saturated on my computer for some reason. You got Lugia, you got your 2 Shays, 3 Shays, you know, your 2-2. Everything, yeah, everything's standard. For DC, you got 3 Rainbows in here instead of Grass Energies. Yeah, so there's your standard Plume Decidueye deck. Mega Ray. Is this Mega Ray going to have anything interesting? And it does. It has Raichu in it. That's awesome. I think Raichu is a good partner for Mega Ray just because it's a good non-X attacker that can catch your opponent off guard. And the fact that it's lightning type, you can hit stuff like Yveltals and Shaymins and Lugia's weakness, which Lugia seems to be very, very popular because of its immense popularity in DecidueyePlume. So that's kind of cool that this guy had that. He had a lot of stuff in here. He had, like, Magearna in here, Jirachi. I mean, this dude was prepared for a ton of matchups. Like, Raichu's great against a lot of matchups. With DecidueyePlume that played Lugia, Yveltal. He had the Magearna, which is amazing when you're playing against, you know, Fairies. Which Fairy did make it into the top 8. Probably lost to Regan's deck here. And we got this one, a Volcanion deck. And it's a standard one with the Salamence, the 12 energies, 2 catchers. This one has Catcher in it. Catcher is still good against Garbodor. So, yeah, everything seems the same here. 1 Ranger, 2 Skyfield, 4 Max Elixirs, 1 Olympia, 1 Fishman. Yeah, everything's the same. Another Mega Ray deck. This one does not seem to have any Raichus. It does have the Magearna, though, but it doesn't have the Raichus. You got your 3-3 Rays, you got your 4 Shays, your Hoopa, your Dragonite, your Magearna. You got your Jirachi in here. 3 Turbos, 3 Spirit Links, yeah. This one does play Puzzle of Time, which is still good. All these items, though, it's like when you play against DecidueyePlume, yeah, it's kind of a rough time. You got your Mega Gardevoir Xerneas Break deck. This one does not play any Dragons. It's just a more straight-up Fairy deck with the dual Gardevoirs, which is kind of weird considering if this deck has Despair Ray, Mega Mewtwo winning is kind of odd. I mean, maybe this guy didn't play against him, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, everything else seems normal. This one doesn't have Dragon, so it's more just straight up using Gardevoir and not having to rely on the double Dragon energy to increase your Gardevoir's damage from the looks of it. And yeah, I mean, you got the mix of the 2 Guardies. You even got the Xerneas Break in here to help you out. And the last deck is a Darkrai Giratina deck. Let's check it out. Everything is the same. 2 Giratinas, 1 Sally. Yeah, 3 Darkrai's, 9 Dark, 4 Double Dragon. And yeah, everything else for supporters and items seem the same. But yeah, that was all of the decks here from this, which is interesting. And yeah, I think that's it. Everything is, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's all just Latin. So there you go. Everything is all the same. I looked at all the three divisions, so that's pretty good. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit like button. Again, I wasn't going to upload a video today. Just waiting for the Guardians Rising hype to release. Can't wait for that. But yeah, I thought I'd just do a recap. I like doing these recaps. Just seems to be a good series. You guys do seem to like them. They do pretty well on my channel in terms of likes and views. And your support is pretty good on them too. So thank you guys for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to more PDCGO content. Guardians Rising is around the corner. And I'm probably going to be doing a huge set stone for my first Guardians Rising video. I don't want to give away what it is yet, but let's just say a certain number of likes is going to be asked on my first Guardians Rising video. I'm excited to see how that goes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Thursday with a deck video, and then Guardians Rising Friday, and then DLC 5 for Black Ops 3 gets revealed on Thursday, a day before. And if it comes out on Tuesday, it's like, so much stuff is going down this week, guys. My life is crazy right now. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys on the video. Have a good day, and grind out that PTCGO for that full Juniper. Peace out.